press conference to start. It's 11:05. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Waiting for the press conference to start. It's 11:05. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Waiting for the press conference to start. It's 11:05. Thank you.
Thank you for joining this Biden-Harris press briefing. Our program will begin shortly.
Interpretación en español está disponible. Para interpretación, haga clic en el icono del globo terrestre en la parte inferior de la pantalla.
Thank you for joining this Biden-Harris press briefing. Our program will begin shortly.
Interpretación en español está disponible. Para interpretación, haga clic en el icono del globo terrestre en la parte inferior de la pantalla.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Good morning. We are going to have a couple remarks here off the top where we can walk you through what to expect in tonight's convention. Joining us today is Kate Bedingfield, who's the Deputy Campaign Manager and the Communications Director for the Biden campaign. Simone Sanders, who is a Senior Advisor for the Biden campaign. Sochi Hinojosa, who is a Senior Advisor and Communications Director at the DNC. And then, of course, Congressman Richmond, who is one of our co-chairs for the Biden campaign. So with that, I will kick it over to Simone to walk us through a little bit of the program, and then we'll have time for a few questions after a few remarks off the top. Simone?
Thank you, TJ. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And welcome to the first day of the 2020 Democratic National Convention. Who knew, a year and a half ago, we thought we would be here, but we did not think we would be here on Zoom. But here we are. The theme for today's events is We the People. This country is confronting a series of monumental challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic continues its rampage. Tens of millions of people are out of work because Trump has failed to address the public health crisis, and America is confronting the racial injustice that has marginalized far too many of us. So as we have learned throughout our history, when we the people stand united as one America, we can overcome anything. Tonight, we will hear from the many Americans who are rising up to take on these three crises and who will join Joe Biden in building back better and moving this nation forward. Tonight's program will also reflect the diversity and the breadth of the Biden coalition. We'll hear from Senator Bernie Sanders. We'll hear from Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, as well as Republicans who are standing up to Trump and supporting Biden, like Governor John Kasich. Today, we are joined by, as TJ mentioned, Biden for President co-chair, Congressman Cedric Richmond, who will be speaking in tonight's program and who will have more thoughts on tonight's theme later in this briefing. Last week, we announced watch parties as one of the ways we're solving for no audience and also using convention as an organizing tool. Another way that we did not announce, though, is we will be hosting drive-ins across the country, where folks can literally drive in like the drive-in movie theater and watch on big screens in their cars. And so we will have drive-ins in Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Delaware. These drive-ins will be full press because of COVID-19 protocols, but we are very excited about them. and can't wait to see how they shake out. So with that, I will turn it over to our Deputy Campaign Manager and Communications Director, Kate Bedingfield. Kate?
Great. Thanks, Simone. Thanks, everybody, for taking the time. We appreciate it. Before we go any further on the convention, I just want to take a minute to address President Trump's comment this morning on Fox and Friends that real people think he's doing a great job with the pandemic response. Trump's 7 consecutive months of inexcusable failure has made the United States the wealthiest country in the world, the hardest hit country in the world by this virus. His mismanagement has cost almost 170,000 real people their lives. It has cost tens of millions of real people their livelihoods, plunging the strong economy that he inherited from the Obama-Biden administration into one of the worst recessions we've ever had. He sold out our nation to the Chinese government when it mattered most, citing their propaganda to justify his inaction, even as other countries mobilized. And despite Joe Biden and his own intelligence community warning him not to trust them. That's why for months, large majorities of real people have given dismal ratings on his catastrophic failed response to the coronavirus, and why in November, real people are going to vote him out of office so that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris can clean up this mess, bring our country together, and build back better. The convention tonight, it's about Joe Biden. It's not about Donald Trump. It's about Biden and Harris and their vision for the future. And I think the strong contrast that you're going to see between their plans, their ideas, their positive vision for how we can build this country back better, it's going to stand in stark contrast to the lack of leadership and the chaos that we're seeing from Donald Trump. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Xochitl Hinojosa to walk through some of the highlights for tonight's programming.
And before Sochi goes, if folks want to go ahead and click the button on your screen to raise your hand, we can get a few folks in the queue so that when we're done with these remarks here, we can take a few questions. So Sochi, over to you.
Thanks, TJ. Thanks, Kate. And thanks, Simone. We have an exciting night tonight. So tonight's broadcast will feature business owners, working Americans, and farmers struggling in Trump's economy, frontline healthcare workers fighting to save lives, racial justice leaders. Senator Bernie Sanders will be part of our program, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, Governor Andrew Cuomo, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Congressman Jim Clyburn, our convention chairman, Congressman Benny Thompson, Congresswoman Gwen Moore, former Governor John Kasich, Senator Doug Jones, Senator Amy Klobuchar, and former First Lady Michelle Obama. Quite the lineup. Instead of traditional speeches this year that are normally behind a podium, this year's format will be a mix of live and pre-taped content that features people from all across this country. Throughout the evening, between speeches and segments, you will hear from ordinary people from across this country speaking to the issues of the day and why we must elect Joe Biden. Now I'd like to turn it over to Biden for President campaign co-chair and Congressman from Louisiana, Representative Cedric Richmond, to talk more about tonight's theme. Congressman?
Well, tonight's theme is We the People. And it's the same We the People that lost 160,000, over 160,000 family members. It's we the people that have been infected with coronavirus, over 5 million infections. And so what it does tonight is show working people that we understand their plight, that we understand the real dilemmas that people face, the hardships of getting back to work, the hardships of schooling, and it lays out the Biden-Harris vision for America. And that is actually putting American families first, American people first, and making sure that we do everything in our power in the richest country in the world to protect our people. And that we will do it with integrity, we will do it with honesty, and we will do it with transparency. And I think that that is a very stark difference. I know I was omitted, but I might as well add myself. I think I do speak tonight also.
I did mention you, Congressman.
So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Great. Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're going to take a few questions here just for folks. I know we have a couple people raise their hand here. I think we're going to go first to Molly Nagel at ABC News.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hey, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. 2 quick questions for you. I was wondering if you guys had any response to some of the frustrations that we've seen that some GOP members have maybe a longer speaking time than some progressive members of the party like AOC. And I was also wondering if you could expand a little bit about what we can expect to see from the former vice president this week ahead of his remarks, or any information about what you expect to hear from him on Thursday night.
Sure, I'm happy to start with the second part of that, and Simone,
I'll take the first part.
Great, perfect. So in terms of the vice president, I think you can expect him to make some surprise appearances throughout the week. I think you should expect to see him at certain points throughout the week. We obviously are not, we're not sharing the details of those just yet, but you should not be surprised if you see him appear at some point during the week. I think in terms of his speech on Thursday, you're going to hear about his belief that we can unite this country, that we can come together, that the way to get through these unprecedented crises that we're facing in terms of both the public health crisis and the economic crisis. Obviously, the racial justice crisis is not unprecedented, sadly, in this country, but that we come together as a country, that the way for us to move forward is to be able to work together to get things done. You're going to hear him talk about the importance of leadership. You're going to hear him talk about his belief that we can restore the soul of this nation, that in this incredibly divisive time in our country, that it is possible for us to restore the soul of our nation, to restore civility, and to work together to get things done. So I think those are some of the things, among many others, that you will hear from him on Thursday.
Look, I would just say that this is a 2-hour convention. It is not the normal convention. It's the complete opposite of it. It's very concise, and it's abbreviated speaking roles. I think Bernie Sanders speaks for 8 minutes, which is one of the longer speeches of the convention, and no one else speaks that long. AOC is doing the introduction of Bernie Sanders, and I think that her time is consistent with that. I would just say that we are making sure that every segment of the country that supports the Biden-Harris ticket has a chance to express why they're supporting it. That includes GOP members, GOP people that are supporting the vice president, because there are a number of them around the country. And so if we're just going to compare time, look, I am a co-chair of the campaign. I do not have a keynote speech, nor did I want one, considering the time frame. And this is about winning an election. We are fighting for the soul of the country. So it's not about me, it's about we the people. And I think that that's what tonight shows. And I believe that when it's all said and done, people will see the spirit in which tonight is done. And that is to make sure that every segment of the population understands that there are leaders just like them that are supporting the Biden-Harris ticket. And those leaders want to tell them why.
Thanks, Congressman. The next question is going to go to James Blue at PBS News.
Hi, thanks for this. I'm looking at the 2020 candidates profile. Just wondering, is Pete Buttigieg not part of the program tonight? Is he going to be on later? Just wondering what's happening there.
So I can take that. So James, I think you all will see that today we gave you a full lineup of who is participating today. We look forward to, over the course of this week, laying out in advance of the evening's program who will be participating on that particular day. But as you'll note, I do believe that Mayor Pete had been announced that he is participating. I think I saw him in one of the mock-ups for the graphics that we put out over these last 4 days. So we look forward to hearing from Mayor Pete Buttigieg sometime this week. But today, we the people, our theme, will highlight individuals such as Congressman Cedric Richmond, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, Senator Bernie Sanders, and John Kasich. But those are not the only people that will be participating tonight. We've got lots of good surprises.
Yeah, and also just to add on to Simone, we have Mayor Pete Buttigieg speaking on Thursday with the theme America's Promise, along with a number of other former 2020 candidates.
Great. Thanks, Sochi. We have time for one more question. That's going to go to Daniel Strauss of The Guardian.
Hi guys, thanks for doing this call. I just wanted to know, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about like why there are these additional Republicans speaking tonight. Originally, I was just going to ask about what value there is to you guys in having John Kasich speak, but while I was waiting, you added Meg Whitman, Christine Whitman, and Susan Molinari. So I was wondering if you could just explain a little bit sort of what the thinking is behind giving them the speaking spots.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I think I sort of alluded to it, but you know, there are a bunch of people out there, silent Biden voters, Republicans that want to vote for Biden or that will be voting for Biden. And it's important to let them know that they're not alone. And it's okay that there are Republican leaders that are voting for Biden-Harris. And so just as any segment of the population that you have support from, you make sure that support is known. And so on an interview, I forgot which one, I call them the silent Biden voters, which are those Republicans that feel bullied, those Republicans that feel that they will be isolated if they support Biden and that they will be picked on. And so this will show them that they're not alone and that they don't have to worry about all of those things for showing support for the vice president and next president of the United States.
And
because remember, the theme tonight is we the people, not we the Democrats, not we black people, not we white people, not we Republicans, but we the people. It is we the people that are in pain right now. And this pandemic is crossing every line. Before we didn't think it was going to affect young people. Well, young people are dying from it now. It's affecting white people, Republicans, Democrats, Asian Americans. You just go down the list. That's why we led with we the people. And so tonight's program will look like we the people, the country of America.
Great. Well, thank you all very much for joining. We really appreciate it. We're around all day if you have any follow-up questions. We look forward to doing this again with you throughout the week and previewing what we've got tomorrow. Let us know if we can answer any questions. Thanks again, folks. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Well, everybody, that's the end of the meeting, and let's have some observations there. I think among them, first of all, look, I did have my hand up in the queue to ask a question. Didn't get picked, happens, you know. But it's quite an honor to be able to be in the room, if you will, and bring this to you. I asked, over the course of the past few days, the number of Trump ads, not Republican Party, but Trump ads has ramped up significantly. And this is during the convention. And I understand that the Trump or the Republican Party, at least the Trump wing of it, has spent $10 million on digital ads and digital efforts. When will we see the Democratic Party fight back? That was my question. And this goes back to something that happened in 2016. 2016, the Republican Party was eating our lunch for us online, and I made great effort to tell the party that I wasn't, Zuni 62 Media wasn't credentialed to cover the 2016 DNC at the time, and my cries were ignored. I see shades of that today, you know, but that question didn't get in. But there were other questions that, for example, the ABC News representative had said that there were complaints that Republican Party members were getting more time to speak than Democratic Party members, and the group that you saw followed up with an answer that explained that wasn't the case, that, for example, Bernie Sanders will receive tonight extensive speaking time. And then there was another follow-up, I believe, from the Guardian gentleman that he was concerned more about Kasich, but then expanded his question to express concern regarding the participation of other speakers from the Republican Party. And I think, just my personal observation, I don't know if you want to make a comment here, you can write a comment, and then it will appear over here, and I'll answer it for you, write a question. But my belief, my thought is that they want to reach, and this is more to me, an offline strategy brought online. And I think that's the real problem here. They want to reach an audience they believe is more likely to vote Republican, but has every reason to be part of the we the people ethic of the convention, and that is the big tent, right? But I think personally they should reach for more for a demographic result. That is, who's more likely to be online, get them first. And they tend to skew younger. Get them first and be everywhere. Be everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook is, tends to be for the older generation. And then aggressively put out where your platforms are. When I say platforms, I don't mean party platforms. I mean web platforms, okay? And where they are. That's just me, all right? But in terms of what the party is going to do, I haven't received many emails. I'm starting to regarding party. I haven't received the digital kit. I received a lot of emails about where to donate. But in terms of a digital fighting kit, there isn't much of that. There is some, but not much. There are efforts here and there, but overall, not as aggressive as I think is necessary. That's, again, me. Welcome to Zenny62, everybody. And if you're here, you just missed the press conference that was held. And I believe we are at a point where, well, the way this is designed, I can't quite replay it for you, because to do so, I would have to stop this live stream and let the video settle, and then we can have another debriefing based on what you saw, or discussion rather, based on what you were able to see. So if you're coming here just expecting to see the live stream press briefing, you missed it. You missed it by that much. You missed it by a good now 8 minutes, okay? And it featured Simone Sanders representing, and others representing the Democratic Party. I always want to say, I was about to say call her Kate Beckinsale, but it's close to Beckinsale, the actress. It's not quite that. And Cedric Richmond and others, but it was quite good. It was quite good, and it was virtual. It's a different way, and well, it's a way that I'm more accustomed to, and perhaps some of you out there that live online. So I think, in general, the questions skewed toward, first of all, the message. It's about we the people, okay? We the people. That's, and if you're curious to know who's going to speak tonight, I will tell you right now, it's also on oaklandnewsnow.com, but I will get right now the list. I'll tell you right now who is going to speak tonight. Bear with me for a moment as I pull up our blog and get to the page. There's a great speaker list that I'm going to move up that was created by our Vinny Laspinoso, and I will have that momentarily. It's DNC 2020. That's not actually the one I'm looking for. Let me go back to the other one. Oh, of course, it's right in my face. Open right up. Cool. It's funny, you build something, you're just getting used to what you built, right? The good news is it works. Okay, now let me share this with you using the magic of StreamYard. And I will open that up. That's the page. This is our room page. I call this the convention coverage room. And so in a matter of minutes, what you're watching is going to be part of this convention coverage room. But this is right here, the live stream for tonight for the Democratic Party. This was a live stream that will start at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and that's the Zenny 62 Media live stream. As you can see, it's repeated. It's here as well. The speaker schedule goes like this: Monday, We the People, featuring Bernie Sanders, Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, Governor Andrew Cuomo, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Representative Jim Clyburn, Convention Chairman Representative Bernie Thompson, Representative Gwen Moore, former Governor John Kasich, Senator Doug Jones, Senator Amy Klobuchar, and former First Lady Michelle Obama. And then on Tuesday, we'll have Leadership Matters. So tomorrow's press briefing will focus around Leadership Matters. It will feature former acting U.S. Attorney General Sally Yates, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, former Secretary of State John Kerry, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester, former President Bill Clinton, and former First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. On Wednesday, will be called A More Perfect Union, and we'll have as a featured speaker, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. Go Bay Area, go San Francisco, go Oakland. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Governor Tony Evers, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, the vice presidential nominee, which is Kamala Harris, and former President Barack Obama, or as I call him, 44. Thursday's final will feature, first of all, the theme America's Promise, and we'll have Senator Cory Booker, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Peter Buttigieg, Senator Tammy Baldwin, Senator Tammy Duckworth, Senator Chris Coons, Senator Kamala Harris, which is actually the vice presidential nominee. So note she's been listed twice. So I expect some adjustment in this going forward. And then the Biden family, and of course, Vice President Joe Biden. Ways to watch and get involved. The Democratic National Convention will take place over 4 nights, as you know, and the convention programming will air from 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. And additional speakers, including national leaders, advocates, and celebrities, will be announced in the coming days. And for Zenny 62 Media, we'll have our own list of guests. For example, tonight, former Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris will join me at 6:45 p.m. To talk about the Democratic Party, Oakland, and his thoughts about the upcoming election, and talk about history. So it will be a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun with Elihu, and it's always more than informative. The page that I just referred to, if you want to bookmark it for your needs, I'm putting it right here. I'm writing DNC 2020 and with an arrow. Okay. And I just posted it. And so if you want to see it, that's it. Okay. It's at Oakland News Now, as you can see, / right? I don't expect you to remember all of that, but this is a live link. Go and grab it now, bookmark the page online in your browser, and you'll have it. Okay. So I'm showing you that right now. Way to grab it is just right, basically, over here. See that right over there? Okay. Over there. And all you got to do, see that thing? Okay. Grab it, grab it and bookmark it. Okay. So This is what I like about StreamYard over Zoom, by the way. And the StreamYard technology is getting much better. Specifically, the latency has really improved dramatically. All right. If you have any questions at all, my email where you can reach me for this is zenny@zenny62media.net. Okay. .net. Okay, there you go. zenny@zenny62media.net. I will also have a special URL, which I'll announce momentarily for the rest of the convention. And if you're saying, why didn't you do that before? Well, to be candid, I'll tell you, all this ramped up really quickly. I mean, I applied for credentials for this months ago, and I received a great deal of assistance from the press representative for the House of Representatives. And then, of course, there was some, after the pandemic, discussion of whether or not we're going to have a convention, and that went away within a day. In other words, of course, we're going to have a convention. The question is how. And then as it became quite obvious that the situation with the pandemic wasn't improving, there were moves made that created this now virtual convention. Because of all of this maelstrom of activity and confusion, I didn't get notification regarding Zenny62 Media status as press for the convention until Wednesday of last week. That's the way that went. And as it looked, and I have to emphasize, apparently Zenny62 Media was already on it. And Zenny62 Media is now a real live corporation, folks. It's a Delaware corporation, which means that it's listed in Delaware. Zenny62media.com is the here. That's the corporate web address, okay? And before I close here, I will show you what our corporate website looks like. And here we have a network of 98 blogs, but this is what Zenny62 Media looks like right here. And it's Zenny62 Media, a new media tech company. That really is what we are. And as you can see, Zenny62 Media credentialed for the DNC 2020 virtual convention, and discusses how we use our smartphone-based video blog platform to report the news from anywhere in the world. And we tell our clients' online journey. So, and yeah, that's right. We have specific name clients. We're very public about our work and associations. I'm very proud of our work that we do for companies like FlowCent, Insight Terminal Solutions, Moriarty Kaplan, Tacklet, Bartlett, and Bauer Transportation in the past, and other organizations like, for example, Tap Influence, which is a famous company out of Denver, Colorado now, that we've done great work for. So this is it. This is the new expression of media in the 21st century, media as tech. So very proud of it. And the greatest report of all is that we are, according to the state of Delaware, a company in good standing. So so this is not a game, okay? This is real, as they say. And all of our bills are paid, and all of our obligations have been met for this year, according to the Secretary of State for Delaware. So, and we have 7 paid bloggers, and we're looking for other vloggers. So if you want to join us, please, you have my email right down there. All right. So unless anyone has any questions, and I don't see anybody in the queue to ask anything, but I see that there are 5 viewers. Thank you very much. I'm going to sign out, and I hope that you will join us at, and I'm going to write, please join us. Please join us at 6:45 6:45 p.m. EST. Oakland News Now, which is, of course, oaklandnewsnow.com. Or Oakland News Now.com. And there. Okay. And I'll show that. So there you are. All right. So, and also, if you have any questions that you want me to ask of the DNC team, please notify me by email today, as soon as possible, whenever you can, because I'm going to be getting more emails as the day moves forward. In fact, having said that, right now, I've got this email. It says the convention starts tonight. This is more of a standard party email, like, hey, the convention starts tonight. Yada, yada. And what this one reads is that we can't believe it. The convention is finally here. Over the next 4 days, you'll hear from many Americans who are rising up to take on the crisis facing our country and join Joe Biden in building a more just, more democratic nation. Each night we'll be joined by Eva Longoria, Tracy Ellis Ross, Kerry Washington, Julia Louise Dreyfus, for conventions with conversations, with the leaders and the experts, the veterans and the activists, and all those who seek to unite and not divide, and who step up, not back down from a fight over what's right. So they asked you to tune in tonight to hear Michelle Obama, Bernie Sanders, and so many more Americans. So that's the email that I got. So, folks, I'm going to, again, if there are no other questions, and there are not, I'm going to sign off, and please join us at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when our guests will be former Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris, and I'll have other guests, and I'll announce them as the day goes on. Thank you again for participating, and God bless you. And I'll end the broadcast right now.